24's Catherine Norris-Trent has been following the case. Catherine, just take us through what you know about the verdict.
Yes, this verdict has been handed down virtually because of coronavirus restrictions. So we've got a little bit of information. We're currently working on trying to get some more. We know that the court in Évry, just outside Paris, has dismissed the case, which was filed by the French-Vietnamese activist outside in the French court against 14 pharmaceutical multinationals. The court ruling there that it did not have the jurisdiction to judge a case involving the wartime actions of the US government. And we know that the lawyers for Monsanto, which is now owned by Dow, had argued that the companies acted on the orders of a government and that since the US is exempt and doesn't have to answer to a foreign court, neither should the companies. So it seems that the court in France has ruled in their favour. We know that the plaintiff, though, is planning to appeal. She's still very combative. She says she hopes to fight on and get justice for all the many victims of Agent Orange. It could be a long battle, though. And there are questions about why this eligibility ruling has come now. I mean, the case was filed in 2014 after many years of legal preparation as well. So it's a very long-running affair.
What will be the consequences for the millions of people who, to this day, are still living with the implications of having been either dealing with Agent Orange or rather being the victims of the chemical, not to mention their family members as well?
Right, this is going to be a massive blow for many people who'd been hoping this would be a landmark, symbolic case. It would have been, if it had gone the other way, the first time that civilians had been recognised as victims of Agent Orange and received any compensation. Obviously, that is not the case, pending any appeal, of course. So far, only members of the military from the US, Australia and Korea have been recognised as victims and received any confirmation. There's up to 4 million people in Vietnam, Laos and Cambodia who were impacted by Agent Orange. So it really went into the water supply, the food supply, and has affected now 4 generations in those areas. So we're talking cancers, miscarriages, diabetes, tuberculosis, heart conditions, any number of deadly conditions and lots of birth deformations as well. So very much hardship suffered by people there. They're very likely to be very disappointed. This had been called perhaps the last chance for the civilian victims of Agent Orange. It is around 60 years ago now. So getting survivors to go to court is clearly an ever harder battle. And they'll be very disappointed. Previous civilian cases had been thrown out of the US court and they were trying in French jurisdiction. And now that the French court has ruled that they don't have the jurisdiction to try it either.
Thank you, Catherine Norris-Trent.